All right, let's jump right in. You ever get that feeling, that deep, nagging frustration that the system is just broken? Like everything feels slow, out of date, and just totally out of sync with the world we actually live in? Well, guess what? It's not just in your head. What you're sensing is a real, legitimate technical failure. Think of it like this. The operating system of the modern country, let's call it nationstate.exe, has a massive bug, a latency bug. It's just way too slow for our digital world. I mean, just look at the lag. Our governments can spend months, sometimes even years, debating something that a secure digital network could get a clear answer on with, say, a 15-minute poll. That huge gap, that delay between seeing a problem and actually fixing it, that is the bug we're talking about. Okay, so let's break this down. A bug like this, it creates a weak spot, a vulnerability. And just like any vulnerable piece of software, it's basically an open invitation for a virus to come in and exploit it. And that virus has a name, the demagogue politician. This is the kind of leader who doesn't care about data or technical solutions. We'll call that logos. No, they thrive on something else entirely. Emotion, division, that feeling of us versus them. We'll call that pathos. They're not here to patch the bug. They're here to use that system lag to grab power for themselves. But wait, where did this bug even come from? Well, it turns out it's not just a small glitch. It's a symptom of something way bigger, a massive shift in how the world works. We are officially leaving the era of the nation state and stepping into something entirely new. Welcome to the network era. So to really get what's happening, we got to look at how power has moved around through history, right? It went from feudal lords to kings, then from kings to big formal institutions like parliaments and congresses. But here's the kicker. Power is on the move again. And this time, it's shifting away from those old institutions and flowing directly to individuals. Specifically, individuals with a ton of charisma and what you'd call network density. And the scale of this new power? It's just mind-blowing. I mean, a single top influencer today can have an audience of 500 million people. Let that sink in. That's a population bigger than the United States, bigger than the entire European Union. It's a whole new kind of superpower. Now, this isn't just about numbers. It's causing a deep psychological change in all of us. People are starting to feel less like citizens of a country, defined by a border on a map, and more like followers or subscribers, defined by who they follow online. Our identity, our loyalty, is literally shifting from the physical world to the digital feed. And this is where things get really wild. Let's do some quick math. If that person with 500 million followers manages to mobilize just 5% of their most dedicated fans, that's 25 million people. Think about that. There is no army, no police force on the planet that can control a crowd that big. In that moment, the government's monopoly on force, the very thing that defines a state, it just, poof, vanishes. So what does this all mean? It means the central conflict of our time is changing. It's not really about left versus right anymore. Not in the old way we think about it. The real battleground now is between two totally different ways of seeing the world, reason versus emotion. Okay, so on one side, you've got logos. This is the idea that running a country is a technical problem, right? It's something you solve with data, with expertise, with laws that apply to everyone. The main goal? Make things work efficiently. But then, on the other side, you've got pathos. And from this point of view, governing is just a big popularity contest. It's all about tribal identity, about loyalty to your group. The goal here isn't making things work well, it's about feeling like you belong. And this new dividing line, logos versus pathos, it completely redraws the political map. The new left often operates on pathos. The key figure is the influencer, and the method is viral, emotional content. Meanwhile, the new right is leaning into logos. Their key figure is the technocrat, and their method is all about data and cold, hard analysis. See? This changes the entire game. It's not just about what you stand for anymore, it's about how you get things done. All right, so we've identified the bug, we've seen the virus that loves to exploit it, and we understand we're in a whole new ballgame, the network era. So the billion-dollar question is, what's the fix? Well, if the problem is technical, then maybe, just maybe, the solution has to be technical too. It's time for a serious system upgrade.
And look, here's the bottom line. You can swap out the politician every few years, but that's just like changing the wallpaper on a phone that's got a cracked screen and a battery that dies in an hour. The phone itself is still broken. The hardware is slow. The software is full of bugs. What we actually need is a brand new operating system.
So, what would a new OS even look like? Well, one idea on the table is something called scientocracia, or technocracy. The core idea is simple but revolutionary. Treat governing like a technical profession. You know, like being a doctor or an engineer, not like winning a reality TV show. It's a system built from the ground up to value competence over charisma and to prioritize reason, logos, over all that emotional noise.
Now, getting into the nitty-gritty would take a while, but the basic concepts are pretty game-changing. Imagine the executive branch as a technical career path. You'd have to train and qualify for it, just like a brain surgeon. The legislature might use something like weighted voting, where your say is based on your merit or contributions. And the courts? They'd be professional, anonymous, and built for one thing: speed and fairness, totally shielded from political games.
And all of this brings us to the core choice we all have to make in this new network era. The old system is clearly sputtering out, and in its place, two very different models are rising up. The decision we face isn't about which party to vote for anymore. It's about which operating system we want to run our world on. So yeah, this isn't some far-off futuristic question. The network era is here, right now. It is actively reshaping how power works as we speak. So the question is for you, directly. Which system are you going to choose to live under?
You really have two paths. You can follow the tribe. That's the system that runs on pathos, on emotion, where you're basically a follower in a network that farms your outrage for clicks and engagement. Or you can install the code, a system designed for logos, for rational efficiency, a place where you're a citizen, with clear rights and clear responsibilities.
Ultimately, it boils down to a choice between two profoundly different futures. One is based on belief in a charismatic leader. The other is based on a belief in, well, math. This whole thing isn't about finding a new ism to believe in. It's about finding a system that actually works. So, welcome to the laboratory. It's time to stop believing and start calculating.